Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take sources, notes, research, and really boil it all down to help you get informed fast.
Yep, get the core insights without wading through everything.
And today we're diving into something really fascinating, becoming what our source material calls a conscious millionaire.
Right.
And this isn't, the usual stuff about affirmations or just like wishing for things.
No, it's much deeper. It's described as a foundational inside-out shift in your whole relationship with money, like reprogramming your subconscious almost.
Exactly. An operating system change.
And the insights we're looking at today, they come from Regan Hillyer, specifically from a Mind Valley Talks YouTube transcript.
Okay.
And she doesn't just give you things to say, she calls them portals into your own consciousness, like doorways,
Yeah.
mental doorways to unlock something inside you.
Portals. I like that. And what really grabs you is her own story, right?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty wild.
By age 24, she built an online business from, well, nothing to over $1 million
Yes.
in less than 8 months.
Incredible speed.
But here's the kicker. When she hit that million, she said it felt, well, quite normal.
Quite normal. That's the bit that makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
Totally.
And that's really our mission for you in this deep dive. We want to unpack why it felt normal for her.
And how you can use her methods, these practical but also really profound techniques, to activate that conscious millionaire within yourself.
Exactly. We're going to explore 12 specific portals or techniques she shares, ways to shift that inner reality.
Okay, let's get into it. That core idea first. Why did that million feel normal?
Her fundamental insight, and it's really powerful, is that she'd spent so many hours consciously choosing that reality over and over and over again.
So it wasn't a surprise because she'd already lived it internally.
Precisely. And what's really striking, like you mentioned earlier, is when she was making that choice.
Right, when her current circumstances looked nothing like it.
Yeah, I think the figure was over 6 figures in personal debt at the time.
Wow, so not exactly starting from a place of abundance.
Not at all. It was about, as she puts it, getting into the feeling of it, the vibration, letting that feeling deeply code her whole system.
So for you listening, what does this mean? It's really an invitation, isn't it?
It is.
To ground into this, to get clear and specific with this, to get precise with this, to choose it constantly.
Even, she says, every minute, every breath if you need to.
Which sounds intense, but it's like building a muscle, I guess. Noticing when you slip out of that chosen reality and deliberately pulling yourself back in.
Yeah, exactly. Because her point is, money doesn't know how to show up for you unless you choose it.
That conscious decision is the steering wheel.
That's the idea. That's the foundation.
Okay, so let's dive into the first of these 12 portals. Portal number 1, raising your level of tolerance.
This one hits home for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's this idea we don't always get in life what we dream about, but we do get what we tolerate.
So whatever your money situation is right now, that's actually your current minimum standard, what you're willing to put up with.
Oof. That's confronting.
It really is. But think about the example she gives the two men in a financial crisis.
Right. Same starting point, same business, both lose everything.
But one ends up homeless, the other rebuilds, even bigger than before.
And the difference was their internal tolerance.
Exactly, their minimum standards. One of them just decided, no more, I will not tolerate this. He raised his floor.
And it's not just for when you hit rock bottom.
Right. No, absolutely not. It applies even if you're already successful. Like she says, maybe you decide you're done with $10 million a year. It's always about consciously choosing to raise that baseline, deciding what's no longer acceptable for you.
Okay, so once you start raising that tolerance level, how do you know what to aim for? Where does that new vision come from?
Well, that leads beautifully into the second portal, listening to your soul's whispers.
Soul's whispers, okay.
The idea here is quite beautiful, actually. If a specific money goal feels alive for you, like it really excites you, lights you up, it's because, according to Regan, it's happened in your future. It's already a reality somewhere in time.
Whoa. Okay, so it's not just a random desire.
Not random at all. It's your soul giving you a glimpse of what's possible, what's already yours on some level.
So your job then becomes what?
Your job is to be the alchemist, to consciously shift your inner reality in order to bend time and space and pull that future reality into the now.
Pulling the future into the present through inner work. Makes sense.
Yeah, it reframes those big dreams entirely.
Okay, so if your soul is whispering about this future and you're working on pulling it in, how do you, make space for it?
Good question. And that brings us to portal number 3, defining containers for money.
Containers.
Yeah. Reagan says money needs containers in your life. Conscious millionaires aren't just vague about wanting money. They're clear, specific, precise about what it's for.
Ah, so it needs a job to do, a place to go.
Exactly. She challenges you directly.
Hmm.
If you had that, say, $1 million tomorrow, where would that be allocated? Where would that go? What would those containers look like?
So it's about really designing it.
Yes. Play with it, break it down, design the allocation. She argues that doing this detailed planning actually creates the energetic space, the capacity within you to hold and manage that level of wealth.
Got it. You're building the house before the guest arrives.
Kind of, yeah. You're creating the energetic structure.
All right, building on that preparedness, the next portal sounds like an equation. Self-worth plus millionaire consciousness, accelerated receiving.
Yes, it's a formula she presents, and the key insight is that you need both parts.
Self-worth, yeah, feeling deserving, and millionaire consciousness. What's that exactly?
It's about truly believing deep down, not just that you're worthy of good things, but that you're capable of handling, managing, and being someone who has significant wealth. It's recalibrating your system. And she notes this common imbalance, right? Some people are great at self-love, very connected to their worth, but they kind of disconnect from the millionaire consciousness part. They don't truly see themselves as wealthy or capable of it.
Or the opposite. Good at the millionaire mindset, maybe driven, but lacking the deep self-worth piece.
Exactly. And you need both for that accelerated receiving to happen, the worthiness and the conscious capacity.
So how do you cultivate that? What's the practice?
It involves consistent affirmation, but with real intention. Saying something like, I choose to believe that I am a conscious millionaire.
Choosing to believe it.
Yes, and you keep doing it consistently, intentionally, even if it feels like a lie at first. The goal is for it to become a deep knowingness.
Like believing the sky is blue, you just know it.
Precisely. It becomes part of your identity, not just something you're hoping for.
Okay, that makes sense.
Ooh,
Which leads perfectly into portal number 5.
right.
Clearing and releasing stopping blocks.
Right, because if you're doing all this choosing and affirming, but the money still isn't showing up.
There's something in the way.
Exactly. There are pieces within your own consciousness that are stopping it, blocking it, or slowing it down. Internal roadblocks.
So how do you find them?
It requires some inner exploration. She suggests journaling or meditation, asking yourself honestly, what is currently stopping me, blocking me, or slowing me down?
And what kind of things might come up?
You're looking for patterns. Things like hidden fears, self-doubt, self-sabotage, or being stuck in what she calls a vibration of control, which is really about contraction, holding on too tight, rather than expanding and allowing.
Control is a block. That's interesting.
It is, isn't it? And this also ties into, crucially, our family systems.
Ah, the inherited stuff.
Yep. Those old stories, specifically around money that we pick up, like the classic money doesn't grow on trees, or maybe beliefs about rich people being greedy, or money being hard to earn.
So you're digging for those generational patterns.
Yes. And the intention then becomes about breaking that generational curse with money.
Sounds dramatic, but it's powerful.
It is. It's about really noticing these patterns when they show up in your thoughts or feelings, and then consciously choosing to let that go. She suggests it can actually be quite simple once you see the block clearly.
Just acknowledging it and releasing it.
That's the core practice.
Okay, portal number 6 feels a bit more mystical. Connecting with your highest self-future version.
Yeah, this comes from another personal experience. She shares a very lucid dream.
Tell me about it.
She dreamt she met this huge golden being of light, and this being revealed itself as her future self.
Her future self came back in a dream.
Yeah, your version of you from your future that's come back to you right now to offer guidance and support.
Wow. Okay.
But the really empowering part is her message that this highest version isn't some distant, unattainable thing.
I know.
No, she says it's one thought away. It's available to you at any given time.
So how do you connect if you're not having lucid dreams?
The practice she suggests is to actively interview this future self.
Interview your future self.
Through journaling, again, or meditation. You sit quietly and ask questions like,
Yeah.
how does this version of you talk? How does this version of you walk? What does this version of you say yes to? What does this version of you boldly say no to? How do you serve the world?
So you're getting a feel for the energy of that future self.
Exactly. She calls it an energetic conversation, and the idea is that this conversation actually codes you at a cellular level. It starts to change you from the inside out, aligning you with that future potential.
That's deep. It's like embodying the future you want to create.
Precisely. You start acting from that place.
Okay, let's move to the seventh portal. This one sounds intriguing. Dating money. An intimate relationship.
Ha! Yes, it's quite unique. This also came from a lucid dream she had.
Another dream.
Yeah, this time she dreamt she was on a date with a huge golden ball,
A golden ball.
which then revealed itself as money. Capital M, money.
She went on a date with money?
Okay. And in the dream, money told her it felt let down and ignored by her.
Whoa. Okay, that's a wake-up call.
Isn't it? And the huge insight here is we're all in a relationship with money. An intimate one, actually.
So the question for you listening is,
If money was a human, how would they feel right now with how you're showing up?
oof, yeah. Are you ignoring it? Complaining about it? Being needy? Blaming it?
All those things we do in human relationships, right? We often do them with money.
So what's the fix? How do you improve the relationship?
She literally suggests you start dating money.
Like, actually take it out for coffee.
Huh. Not quite literally,
Yeah.
but setting aside dedicated time, maybe 10 minutes in the morning, just to connect with it.
What do you do in that time?
You play with money, exploring with money, getting up close and personal and comfy with money. Maybe that's looking at your accounts with gratitude, planning finances with a positive feeling, or just holding some cash and appreciating it.
So it's about changing the energy you bring to it.
Exactly, because as she says, money acts as a reflector back to you for you to see what's actually going on in your unconsciousness. How you treat money reveals your hidden beliefs about it and about yourself.
That's a really powerful reframe. Okay, portal number 8. Using environment as an intentional tool.
This connects to something many people have heard.
Right. You're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That old saying.
Exactly. But Regan really emphasizes its importance specifically for your financial reality.
How so?
Well, she shares a personal story about a past partner, someone who used to tease me a lot, constantly pushing my light down.
Ouch. That sounds draining.
Totally. And she highlights how incredibly difficult it was to expand and thrive financially in that kind of negative, unsupportive environment.
It really makes you think about who you surround yourself with.
Absolutely. So the invitation here is to really take stock of your environment. Ask yourself, is your environment powerful, supportive, amazing?
Or is it time for a clean out?
Yeah. And that clean out could mean different things. Maybe it's spending less time with certain people. Regan even mentions it might involve big changes, like moving country.
Wow, that's drastic.
Or if it's family you can't just clean out, maybe it's about learning to energetically protect yourself so their negativity doesn't drag down your own financial vibration.
Makes sense. But it's not just about getting rid of the negative, is it?
No, that's the other crucial half. It's about consciously, intentionally creating those environments. Actively seeking out and surrounding yourself with people who get it.
People who celebrate your light, they want you to fly.
Yes, people who are aligned with abundance and expansion themselves.
Okay, environment is key. Next up, portal 9. Becoming an energetic match.
This ties back to the vibration idea we talked about earlier.
Right, generating wealth isn't just about doing things, it's about being a certain way.
Exactly. It's a state, a vibe, a frequency. She says, your vibe attracts your tribe, but also attracts your money.
So you need to tune yourself to the frequency of abundance you desire.
Precisely. You have to become an energetic match for what you want to attract.
How do you do that practically?
She offers a really neat technique called the manifestation alarm.
A manifestation alarm.
Yeah. You set an alarm on your phone, she suggests, maybe hourly, if you can, and use a happy, uplifting sound for it.
Okay, alarm goes off. Then what?
When it rings, you stop, close your eyes, and tap into the feeling of already having received that money.
So it's a mini burst of that future reality feeling.
Exactly. A micro moment of intense visualization and, crucially, the emotion of already having it. Gratitude, joy, relief, whatever it is.
And doing this repeatedly throughout the day.
Yeah.
What does that achieve?
She says, you start blurring the lines between your dreams and your reality. It starts to feel like it's already happened, even before the physical proof shows up.
So you're training your nervous system, almost.
That's a great way to put it. You're recalibrating into receiving money with bliss, ease and grace and flow, moving away from that old, maybe stressful paradigm of hustle.
Love that. Okay, portal 10. Integrating your three brains. This sounds interesting. Three brains.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept she introduces. The idea is that we all operate with three distinct brains or centers of intelligence within our system.
Okay.
First, the obvious one, the mind, our logic center. Then the heart, which she connects to our alignment with source or higher self. And third, the gut, our center of inner wisdom, intuition, instinct.
Mind, heart, gut.
And her point is, for things to flow, especially big things like attracting significant wealth, these three brains need to be aligned.
If they're not,
If they're not aligned, we've got a problem. Your system isn't fully recalibrated. You might have internal conflict.
like my mind wants the million, but my gut feels unsafe about it.
Exactly. Or your heart longs for impact, but your mind is stuck in logical limitations. That creates resistance.
So how do you check for alignment? How do you integrate them?
The practice is actually quite straightforward. You consciously check in with each one. You can do it in meditation or just quiet reflection. You literally ask, mind brain, how are you doing when we talk about this amount of money? What concerns do you have? And you listen. Let the logical thoughts surface.
Okay. Then the heart.
Yep. Heart brain, how do you feel about this? Is this truly aligned? What desires do you hold? Listen for the feelings, the sense of expansion or contraction.
And finally, the gut.
Gut brain, what's your wisdom here? What's your intuitive hit on this? Listen for that deeper knowing, that instinct.
And the goal is just to hear them all out.
To hear them, acknowledge them, and ideally find a way forward where all three feel heard and reasonably on board, bringing them into harmony.
Makes sense. Okay. Portal 11. Upgrading to a stabilized field of impact. Sounds complex.
It's about understanding the give and receive cycle of money and how our capacity for impact grows in stages.
Stages.
Yeah, she talks about many different layers of impact related to money and says they need to be balanced out and integrated kind of sequentially. You can't really jump ahead effectively.
What are these layers?
She outlines 5. Layer 1 is survival. Basic needs, paying bills, getting out of debt, just feeling safe.
Okay, foundation.
Layer 2 is freedom of self. Having enough to do what you want, live your desired lifestyle, travel, enjoy things.
Personal freedom.
Layer 3, contribution to inner community. Being able to help out family, friends, those closest to you.
Helping your circle.
Layer 4, outer community. Expanding that contribution to your wider community, local causes, maybe your city or region.
Broader impact.
And finally, layer 5, global community. This is where you desire to serve the world on a large scale, leave a significant legacy, tackle global issues.
World-changing stuff.
Right. But here's the crucial insight she stresses.
Yeah.
You can't be at those places, like truly operating effectively at global impact, until you've integrated every single other layer.
You can't skip from survival straight to saving the world, financially speaking.
Not sustainably, anyway. Your capacity for giving and impact needs to grow organically alongside your own financial stability and freedom. You need a solid foundation.
And she lived this, didn't she?
Absolutely. She talks about being completely broke and broken, literally having $8.70 in my bank account.
Wow.
Even then, she had huge dreams of global impact. But she realized she had to get roaring real, as she puts it. She had to tackle survival mode first, get out of debt, build her own freedom, before she could genuinely play at that bigger global level.
So it's about honoring where you are and building capacity step by step.
Exactly. Stabilizing each layer before focusing fully on the next.
Okay, that brings us to the final portal, number 12, embodiment and action.
Yes, the culmination of all this inner work.
It's not just thinking and feeling, right? It has to translate.
Absolutely. Regan reiterates that becoming a conscious millionaire isn't just a concept, it's an embodiment, a full and complete embodiment of the truth of who you are, living it.
And that means taking action.
Critically important. She quotes, you listen, you trust, and you act. Listen to the intuition, trust the guidance, and then do something.
Because success doesn't just happen from meditating.
Right. She says success is created in the micro moments. Those small daily choices where you decide to act from this new paradigm of knowing that abundance is infinite instead of acting from old fears or scarcity beliefs.
Well, it's about bringing that shifted inner state into your actual choices and behaviors in the real world.
Yes. One aligned step at a time. That's how the inner shift creates outer results.
Wow. Okay, that's an incredible set of 12 portals into your own consciousness.
Yeah.
Each one really is a whole area for deep work, isn't it?
Definitely. It's not a quick checklist. Each portal offers a profound way to shift that inner relationship with wealth. peeling back layers, like you said.
Yeah.
And the core message that comes through so clearly from Reagan's work is that activating the conscious millionaire within you is an inner game, first and foremost.
It really requires looking inward.
It does. It's about being bold enough and brave enough to really surrender into a state of knowing that you're here for more. It takes courage.
And that connection to purpose comes through strongly, too. The source material says the world really needs you.
To step up, be open, and allow yourself to be coated with the resources to truly change this planet.
So it frames financial abundance not just as a personal gain, but as a tool for greater impact.
Exactly. It connects wealth to contribution in a really powerful way.
So a final thought then for everyone listening,
Mm-hmm.
after exploring all these deep portals.
Considering everything we've unpacked today, the tolerance levels, the soul whispers, dating money, the three brains, all of it, what's maybe one specific intentional step you could take this week?
Just one thing.
Yeah, one small step to actively start shifting your relationship with money from the inside out, something that moves you beyond those old stories and starts tuning you into that new frequency of abundance we talked about. What would that one step be for you?